Good morning. It is 10 o'clock and welcome to Lincoln Ware Live. We're here every Sunday morning from 10 until 11. And as usual, we've got a great show lined up for you today. The first part of the show, we're going to talk about the Paranormal Society. And what's that all about? Ghosts and goblins and who knows what else. We'll talk about that. Second half of the show, we've got a debate between Christopher Smitherman and my good friend Ken Anderson. They're going to debate on PR, proportional representation. Is it good for the city of Cincinnati, or is it bad for the city of Cincinnati when electing our Cincinnati City Council members? We'll find out. We'll hear their story, their sides of the story, on the second half of the show. Then at the end of the show, we'll tell you how you can win tickets to see Walking with Dinosaurs. Yes, Walking with Dinosaurs. And they'll be at the Bank of Kentucky, and we'll give you the dates and times of that and tell you how you can win tickets to see this fantastic show. But first, we'll take a break, and then we'll come back and talk to our guests. We've got Shelly and Falon Morey, and they'll talk to us about the Paranormal Society and the things that they do. And they were even trying to catch some ghosts last night, as early as last night, right?
Yes.
All right, we'll take a quick break, then we'll come back and hear from them right here on Lincoln Ware Live. We'll take a quick break. And don't forget the phone number, 381-3838, 651-3838, if you want to jump on board back in a moment. We are back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. Shelly and Falon Morey, my guests this morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Now, tell us a little bit about this Paranormal Society. And you say you were out looking for ghosts last night.
Yep, we went to the 20 Mile station in Landon. They said they had some paranormal activity going on and some ghosts. And we went and pretty much stayed the night and set up our cameras and split up in groups and checked it out.
Have you ever actually seen any ghosts?
She had an experience a long time ago, back in like '96, but I've never actually seen anything. I've heard things and felt things and kind of, you know, got really creeped out, but I've never actually seen a ghost. So.
Now, what about, have you ever been to Bobby Mackey's Music World? Okay, what, yes. You always hear about that and ghosts being there, and I think I did see some clips of something moving through the place at night. What was your experience there?
We went down this past June 8th and set up. There was 8 of us investigators. And when we got back home, we caught a couple EVPs. We did, on one of our digital cameras, we did see a image, what appeared to look like an image of a woman from the side. And the history of Bobby Mackey's goes, there was this lady that had taken her life, and she has been seen in that room.
I think we have a photo from there. Can we put that up? Okay, where, if you look at it, where is the...
Oh, okay. Back in the back there where the doorway is, it's kind of hard to see, but where the light's shining down a little bit, you can kind of see the outline of what looks like a woman dressed in older clothing. You can see the silhouette of her head and her shoulders, and she's possibly wearing a dress. So that's one thing that we did catch. It was a really creepy place, though.
Well, I can imagine. And I know a lot of people from the South, older people from the South, actually believe in ghosts. When somebody dies, they swear up and down they can see them walking through the house and all that stuff. You know, a lot of people from the South believe that. And it might be something to it. I don't know. I've never experienced anything like that, but just them talking about it scares the hell out of me. You know? So, but now, do you get telephone calls from people? Do they call you up and ask you to come out and look around, or what?
Yeah, we've had a few calls. We actually started off with our little MySpace page. We didn't know how it was going to take off, and then now people are starting to call us, and it's actually turned out pretty well. Okay,
so this is actually a company now.
That's what we're trying to do.
Okay. Now, what type of equipment do you have?
Oh gosh, we have everything. We have like 8 night vision cameras, digital voice recorders, EMF detectors, which can pick up electromagnetic fields. This K2 meter that can actually also pick up an EMF reading, and we can sometimes get the lights to go up, which we can kind of communicate with them. Motion detectors, Let's see what else. There's just anything, really.
So you have all this equipment set.
Yeah.
And you got a group picture. Can we show the group picture of the whole company there? Okay, it takes time to get that stuff up there, so we'll forget about that. And we'll take your calls at 651-3838, 651-3830. There's a group picture right there of the whole group. And people actually call you out. You go out and you investigate paranormal activity that's going on. Now, is there a number people can call?
Yes, it's 513-305. 3144.
And you guys will come on. We're going to talk to Jeff a little bit later on. He's also part of the organization.
Yes,
and
he is.
We'll hear what he has to say. All right, we're taking your calls at 651-3838, 381-3838. And let's see, which line can we go to? Can we go to line 1, or do we have to go to line 2? Do we have to go to 2? We'll go to, there's no name up there for line 1. Okay. All right. Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good.
That's good.
You're kind of loud.
What?
Yes.
What you say?
You're kind of loud in my ear. I don't know. Maybe they'll turn it down out there.
Oh, because I can't hardly hear you.
Okay. What's on your mind?
I want to say about the spirits, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of times women or men have died, and they may come back to them. They see them, you know, in the house and feel them. And I call it the spirit of the Holy Spirit or the Holy Ghost spirit, you know. But a lot of folks call it the ghost. But I think it's the death spirit. You know, it just comes back. You just don't get them people off your mind. And they mingle in your mind, and you see them, and you hear them.
So they're not really there. They're just in your mind.
Right. It's a mental thing, mental condition.
But what if they come up with voices and photographs? Then what?
Well, they really see them like they're actually there. And a lot of them really lose their mind over it, you know, because I had patients like that, you know. They just really believe that person is with them and there. You take care and have a good day.
All right, Mary. Thanks for your call. Philip, you have a question?
Yes. No, it's not a question. It's an experience that I had.
Okay.
I'm in my 50s now, but when I was like 9 or 10, I stayed at 555 Armory Avenue. I know you're aware of where that was.
Yes, downtown.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, this lady passed away next door to us, and she was a good friend of my mother's, and she would never let my mother whoop me or chastise me. She thought I was Jesus Christ to her. But I was bad. But anyway, she passed away, and one night I was going in my room, and I saw her sitting in my mother's chair. And that was like an hour before she passed away.
Oh, boy. Now, where was she when she passed away? Was she next door at home?
Next door at home.
Well, how do you know she wasn't actually sitting there before she passed away?
Well, the reason I know that when the police was called, my mother and some neighbors had missed her.
Okay.
So they finally called the police, and the police said she was in there, but the time of death, when she died, she was still alive when I saw her, though.
So she was just there to say her final goodbye to you, I guess.
I guess so, 'cause I had the flu at that time, and I was laying in the bed, and she had just left from over there about 3 days before and brought me some cold medicines and stuff like that for my mother to give me.
You could have been delirious. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't. No,
okay.
I wouldn't.
All right, Philip. Thanks for your call.
All right.
All right. Quez, how are you? Quez. Corez.
Yes.
Yes, how are you?
Fine. Called. I was giving this because I work at Dollar, and one day we was looking back on the tapes, and we had seen the little white was going across the screen, and I was just wondering what it was. So I went back in the stock room to look, and I didn't see any. It wasn't any fans.
You keep fading in and out. It's hard to really understand what you're saying. Your phone is fading in and out. I'm going to have to let you go. We couldn't understand what you were saying.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for your call. He was fading in and out. Right. But I guess you get a lot of calls. People see things, and they just Are they afraid are they afraid of what they have seen, or how do they sound? Do they really want to see more, or what?
Mostly just curious about it. You know, like they don't really ever get too scared. You know, they just want to know what's going on in their house, or you know, wherever they work, just to make sure that what they're seeing and feeling and hearing is actually true and not something else. So we go into, you know, either let them know that yeah, you're seeing a ghost, or it's possibly something else. So
now I think we got some sound of something that you picked up. Hopefully we can get to that. Can we get to the sound?
Does the name Jesus Christ offend you?
yeah.
Wait, who was that?
That was me.
Okay.
Oh, we were at the Sorg Opera House in Middletown, and we were in what they call the tunnel, which was actually like a basement crawl space. And Jeff had actually mentioned that, you know, maybe I should ask something about, you know, does the name Jesus Christ offend you, in case if it was like, you know, a demonic presence. So I asked that, and I didn't hear anything, or I would have, you know, taken right off. But the back of my hair got touched a little bit, and it kind of freaked me out. And then my bangs on the side went like that, and I felt like a little cold, almost like a finger going down my face.
Oh,
and then we ended up leaving, you know, because that was enough for us to catch. Well, when we played it back, that's when we heard the loud. It almost sounds like a shotgun going off, just a loud bang.
Okay.
But there was nothing down there. There was nobody.
Okay, so that's what we heard. I mean, we heard you saying. Okay, let's play it one more time and see if we can hear the. Now, what are we listening for? A blast?
Yeah, I'll ask, does the name Jesus Christ offend you? And then you'll hear a pew.
Okay, okay.
Which
let's
we
see.
didn't hear while we were there.
Let's see if we
Does the
can.
name Jesus Christ offend you?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. And you didn't hear that while you were there?
No, honest to God, didn't hear it at all.
Huh.
Or that would have, I mean, probably would have heard me scream.
Okay. All right. All right. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come right back and take more calls right here on Lincoln Ware Live. We've got Shelly and Falon Morey from the Paranormal Society. We'll be back after these very, very important messages. Back. We are back live. Lincoln Ware Live is a program. Coming up later in the show, we've got Ken Anderson, Christopher Smitherman, proportional representation, a good way to elect city council or a bad way to elect city council. We'll find out from them. Plus, we'll tell you how you can win tickets to see Walking with Dinosaurs at the, what's the name of that new bank? Oh, Bank of Kentucky Arena. We'll show you how to win tickets to see Walking with Dinosaurs. All right, now we've got another guest here along with Falon. We've got Jeff McIntire. Jeff, how are you?
Good, how are you, Lincoln?
Now, you're with the Paranormal Society also. What do you do, if anything? Just joking.
I'm an investigator, and basically I do the same as Falon and Shelly and the other members. Work with the various equipment and search for evidence, you know, paranormal activity.
All right. Now, we've got more calls here. I guess people who've experienced paranormal activity. We'll find out. Michelle, how are you?
Fine, and you, Lincoln?
Good, good.
I'm
You
doing
got
fine.
to turn your TV down because there's a delay. It's confusing you. Turn your TV down.
Oh, it's down.
Okay, now, what's your question?
Oh, yes, I've had an experience, a paranormal experience before. Out to my baby sister's house. She stayed in on Moosewood in Commonwealth, which later I found out that was the projects was built up on a burial ground. I laid there one night and I was finna go to sleep, and I happened to look over by the closet and see something moving. And before I could really get myself together, I tried to holler, and I couldn't say a word. People used to think that my baby sister was crazy, you know, saying that she had a ghost because she named it George. Wow. But I do believe in these experiences because I've had one. And I tell you what, it terrified me, and I never went back to her house again. I tried to holler, but would nothing come out.
Holla. Okay. All right. Thanks for your call.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Now, I think we've got some sound, some more sound of something. Can we get a listen to this next sound, and then maybe you can explain to us, and then we'll play it again and listen for it in case we missed it the first time. Go ahead. Let's hear the next sound. Okay, what was that?
Okay, that was a little bit harder to hear. This is a residential home that we did in Middletown, and me and a friend of mine were upstairs, and I had just gotten goosebumps on my arm, and you can hear me. I think I said something like, whew, you know, the goosebumps just went up, and I think I said it was about 20 seconds ago. Well, you hear this voice come on top of mine that sounds like someone is like a heavy smoker, and it says it was the year 25. We're not sure what that means. You know, but that's what it was saying.
It was saying, can we hear that year 20? We can hear that in the tape?
Yeah, it's really quick, and it's like, oh, it was the year 25, something like that. So
okay,
you'll hear it.
Let's see if we can hear it again. You can hear, I can hear 25 very faintly.
Yeah.
There. Okay, okay. All right, let's go back to the telephones. Jeffrey, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great.
What's your question?
Yes, I had a question about, I had a paranormal experience before, like when I was a younger guy, when I was a young man, we had took my cousin to the bus stop for the last bus ride, but we missed the bus, so we came back with our grandparents, and like, my uncle had just passed away, and it was like, when we looked up, the light, his bedroom light was on, and there was a cat in the alleyway, like a black cat. The cat disappeared, and the light went off. So we asked the family member, like, did y'all turn the light on? Because no one went in the bedroom. But the light, there's nobody to go in there. You had to go through one bedroom to get to the other bedroom. It was a shotgun house. And like, you couldn't get in.
Nobody said they turned the light off.
Exactly.
Wow. All right.
Like,
and what happened to the black cat?
I don't know what the deal was that. It was like some type of coordinated situation or something. I don't know what's going on, but it just shot out.
Wow. All right, Jeffrey. Thanks for your call. Walter.
Yes. Do you all believe in reincarnation?
In a way, I do. I think when somebody dies, I think they come back as somebody else. It could be on the other side of the world. It could be, you know, in another country. It could be anywhere. I think you do come back as someone else.
I think that maybe Barack Obama has came back and that he was once Abraham Lincoln. I do believe that. And I was wanting to ask them.
They're about the same height.
Well, yeah, I do believe that. It's not due to the height. It's just due to his personality. But have the guests there ever seen the spirit of Jezebel?
I'm hearing something in my ear. Is that something paranormal going on?
No, that's the spirit of Jezebel.
Check it out.
Spirit of Jezebel. She's looking for you, Lincoln.
Okay. Thanks for your call.
All right.
All right. Do you believe in reincarnation? Do you think?
I'm kind of on the fence about it. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible. I just don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Personally, I do not. That's just my opinion. But no, I believe that you either, when you die, you either go to heaven or hell. I consider myself a Christian, but the thing is, you cannot dispute things such as EVPs. I mean, there's a voice there. Mm-hmm. So I believe, is there something we don't know, or you know, or is it even a presence of an evil spirit or something like that? And if it is, we're just out to expose it for what it is. We're not interested in demonic activity. You know, we don't worship them or whatever, but we're out to expose it for what it is, if that's what it is.
All right, now we have one more voicer here, tape, and can we get that? And then we have another photo. Okay, what was that?
Okay, that was also at the Sorg Opera House in Middletown, and you will hear my mom and another guy talking about switching out the tape. And they were in the basement. There's absolutely nobody down there, and you'll hear like a man's voice in the background go, "Oh!" You'll hear that, and then very faintly in the background you hear what sounds like a woman saying, "Is there tape on the floor?" So,
okay, let's hear that again. I heard that. What was that? That was just a voice you picked up?
A voice we happened to pick up when there was nobody down there. So.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I'm scared. All right. Now, is there a number people can reach you? Give that number again.
It's 513-305-3144.
All right. It's the Paranormal Society. And I tell you what, I believe something happens. There's something out there, you know. And I don't think when a person dies, I don't think they're just gone. I think their spirit hangs around a while, and some people's spirit never leave. It just stays there forever. So I kind of believe in that. And I tell you, it's amazing at some of the things you pick up, and especially around Halloween time. I'm sure you get all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And oh, did we have another photo? I think we had a photo. Let's show that photo before we go. We had one more photograph. Okay, now what's that?
That's a friend of my mom's. They were at the Golden Lamb, and which is in Lebanon. And they say that that's haunted. We actually got to investigate it. They had taken a picture, and the lady on the left, it actually kind of looks like there's a face on top of hers. It kind of gives her those manly features.
Yeah.
And
that's a lady? It doesn't look like somebody with a beard.
That's an older woman, yes. And they took a picture right after that, and it was perfectly clear.
Really?
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right. Appreciate it. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and find out about proportional representation. Good for the city of Cincinnati or bad for the city of Cincinnati in the way they elect Cincinnati City Council members. Back in a moment. We're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. And as promised, we've got Christopher Smitherman, president of the local branch of the NAACP. And we've got talk show host Ken Anderson with us. And if you listen to 1230 WDBZ, you've probably heard people mention proportional representation. It's actually issue 8 if you live in the city of Cincinnati. Issue 8 on your ballot. PR is what it's known as. And we've got 1 for, 1 against right here. So let's start off with Christopher Smitherman. Why is PR good? First of all, explain it and tell us why it's good for the city of Cincinnati to elect their council members.
Well, our current system, the 9X system, is a winner-take-all system. And what happens with the system we have, it really oppresses the minority vote. What proportional representation does is it moves to a ranking system. So you're able to determine the preference of the voter by ranking your candidate 1 through 9, which you are unable to determine in the 9X system. It is very easy for the voter to use in the ranking system. Today, the Cincinnati Enquirer came out and told voters to not vote for issue 8. We like those kinds of endorsements because typically in our community, if the Enquirer says don't vote for it, we vote for it. They also endorsed McCain and Palin today. So again, people have to look at these endorsements and decide how they want to vote on the issue. But we are clearly a yes vote on issue 8.
Now, Ken Anderson, you say no on issue 8. You say it's not good. If we adopt this, we're headed for trouble.
Well, it's 3 main points. First of all, I want to thank you, Lincoln, for this opportunity, and also you, President Smitherman, for being here. The thing is, 3 things. Number 1, we're facing a situation where the result of the election, if issue 8 were to pass, the result of the election would depend on which precincts were counted first. And that's major, because you can have the same ballots, but count different precincts first, and you'll have a different outcome. And I don't think that our city council should be selected according to which precincts are counted first. Secondly, if issue 8 were to pass, we're setting up ourselves to be in a position where, using last election year cycles, 6,500 first place votes, and with no other votes, would win the 9th seat on city council, which would end up beating someone with 6,000 first place votes and 20,000 other votes. So you would have a situation where someone with only 6,500 votes would actually win a seat over someone that has 26,000 votes throughout the city. And that's mathematically possible. And then there's a better way to do this. And it's a PR system. It's called the Borda system, where you assign quality points. So this is just a bad idea. I think we should just go on and vote no, and then come back and do it right.
Now, he makes some good, it does sound like so complicated. You know, we do this first, we got this. I mean, it sounds real complicated.
Well, part of the complication, as Ken has stated, quite frankly, he doesn't understand proportional representation. The way PR works is on election day, all ballots come in at the same time. Okay. And if they come in at different times,
they sit there.
They sit there.
Okay.
So you only the count begins when you determine when they're all arrive, and you're able to determine who put their first ranking, who is the first ranking. And typically under PR, your first 4 seats are elected just out of the first ranking. People are able to determine who they most want on council. It's the 5th through the 9th seat where we're going down the ballot looking at who the preference of the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. So Ken's scenario doesn't play out. Let me explain again or emphasize that this isn't new to the city of Cincinnati. It was here for 30 years and it worked fine. We were rated the best governed city in the country when we had proportional representation, and it is used and has been used in Cambridge, Massachusetts for the last 61 years. So I don't know.
Why not in Columbus and Cleveland, and why, if it's so good, why aren't they using it?
Because many states and many municipalities benefit from oppressing the minority vote. So there, for example, the Democratic Party, in my opinion, takes the African American vote for granted. So this is about whether you want full representation or you don't want full representation.
Right. First of all, I think it's rather presumptuous for you to say what I understand. You say, I run my shoes. I'm in my shoes. You're in your shoes. So for you to say that I don't understand something, I think is very presumptuous on your part.
You don't understand it.
So just deal with
ballots are
excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
You don't understand how it works.
Okay, I wasn't interrupting you.
Go ahead.
Now the second point is, on your own website, it does. Explain to me, when are the votes actually tallied? Because you have a lottery system to determine which precincts will be counted. Am I right?
That is not correct. So, again, I've explained to you, Ken, that it was used here for 30 years.
I'm not talking
correctly. It was used in Cambridge, Massachusetts for 60
We understand that. We understand
years.
the history, sir.
So
the history
we're
point is,
let me ask this question. Why is the mayor, city council, why are they so hell-bent against it? Even the African-American members of city council are against this.
Well, let's say that the African-American, let me say who has endorsed it. Okay. The Baptist ministers have endorsed issue 8. The Interministerial Alliance has endorsed issue 8. Those are the 2 largest African-American ministerial organizations in Cincinnati, have both endorsed issue 8. The mayor and the city council, what PR does is it transfers the power to the people. So it doesn't function well with 2 major parties. The point of PR is to break up the major parties and transfer the voting power to the people. I'm not surprised that the mayor nor any member of council, because their jobs are on the line here, and I think they should be based on how our communities look right now.
Now, Ken Anderson, you've run for city council before. And this could be good for you if you decide you got name recognition. Right. People would see your name. Right. This could put you on city council.
Exactly, and that goes to prove the point. I mean, if I was in this for personally, I would support it. But I know it's bad for the city. I'm not in it for me. I'm in it for what's good for the city. Now, the other thing too, the first thing you brought up was the number of endorsements. Who's against PR and things of that nature. Well, the 2 groups that you said endorsed PR, with Baptist minister, I think they supported jails. The very same issue that you and I were on the same side of this time last year. So, you know, this whole bandwagon effect, vote for something because everybody's doing it, I'm sorry, that simply does not it flies in the face of logic. The bottom line, mathematically, your own experts who you had on WDBZ, I want to thank you for doing that, they actually proved that this system, the border system, was correct, which my system is to assign quality points throughout the ballot. So your number 1 vote gets 10 points, and number 2 vote gets 9, on down the line. Then it doesn't matter which precincts are counted first. You count them all up by quality points, and then you determine your winners.
Okay, you said that's not true. What he's saying?
No, it's going to come down. An expert did not affirm what Ken Anderson said. This is going to come down, in my opinion, to credibility. The NAACP, we are on the move. When I was a member of city council, I think that I effectively impacted and pushed public policy that helped improve the quality of life of African Americans. This is going to come down to leadership and credibility. We have gotten these issues on the ballot. We've collected 29,000 signatures to do so. Senator Barack Obama was nominated from the Democratic National Party through a form of proportional representation.
And Ken Anderson disagrees with you on that.
It's not an issue of whether he disagrees. I can take you to the website that they use a form of proportional proportional
Excuse
representation.
Me, let me say this, because I understand filibustering. The point is that
filibustering.
Yeah, the usurping all the time. The point is that I said before, you were saying that Barack Obama, he got PR, that's why he's there. And I said it was a form of PR. So I've said that. It's on record. It's on tape. I've never said that he didn't benefit from PR, but it's not the same system. And see, this border system is a form of PR. It's not the same system.
Let me take a break, and then we'll come back and hear more on proportional representation, good or bad for the city of Cincinnati in the way we elect our Cincinnati City Council members, and we'll talk about the ballot wording when we come back. We are back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. We're talking about proportional representation. We've got Ken Anderson and Christopher Smitherman, president of the NAACP. And people are confused when they go. I've had people call my show saying they get to the polls, they look at issue 8, and they don't know whether to vote yes or no. They don't know if they vote yes, it means vote no, or what. They don't know what to. So what about the wording? It's got mayor. I heard you talking about the word mayor is in the language, and it shouldn't be there. It scares people. So what about that, Chris? Did you know the language of the ballot? Did you know what the language would be?
The NAACP, not what it would be. The boss cocks at City Hall, meaning the council and the mayor and their lawyers, always write the ballot language. That's where it came from. Yeah. And they gave 24-hour notice, which they didn't let anybody know, and placed the word mayor a few times in the language. But it has nothing to do with whether PR focuses on the 9 members of council. And if anybody reading the League of Women Voters explanation of it, they're very clear about this. That's what happens with the corrupt system we have. A yes means a no, and no means a yes. The language is all twisted all up. But a yes vote on 8 means that you are wanting to change the 9 members of council and how we elect them.
Can I simply ask a question, and that is, can you explain to us what the ballot language, including the word mayor and the reference to mayor, what it actually means?
Yes, it only speaks to what is already true, that 2 members run for mayor. They put that language in there to make you think that this has something to do with the mayor.
So they're not asserting. The council, the mayor, the city solicitor deliberately mislead the citizens of Cincinnati.
Yes, they did that, and this is very common when we're dealing with ballot initiatives.
So you want people to support something that you admit people were misled about?
No, Ken.
You just said that they were misled on issue 8.
The language on the ballot has nothing. It's misleading. It doesn't mean that the end result will be a change on how we elect the 9 members of council.
Now, Ken Anderson, would you be happy with districts?
I would be happy, and I proposed this several years ago, 4 districts and 5 at large. And you could even select your at-large members and your district members using proportional representation, because proportional representation is a method. Unlike what Christopher Smitherman alluded to earlier, saying that, quote, I don't understand PR.
Would you be happy with that?
It's opposite.
What I want at the end game is that a city that has 45% African American to 50%, that we have political power on council. Right now, we don't control the city, we don't control the county. We have a council that put $200 million in a choo-choo train but cut our health clinics, our pools. This is not the representation. Big business is being represented by city council. What issue 8 does is it breaks all that up. What they didn't understand and what they miscalculated is that we were going to be able to get the signatures to get the issue on the ballot when the high numbers of African Americans were going to be turning out to vote, and that has the status quo incredibly worried. If the African American community votes yes on issue 8, it will change their quality of life.
Well, you know, I hear you often talk about the number of signatures on the ballot. Even though I was against it, I told you I would support people signing the petition to put on the ballot. So everyone that signed the petition to put PR on the ballot does not necessarily agree with the system of PR. It's just that we agree with democracy and that, yes, you have a right to put an issue on the ballot. So you can't just assume that support, that everyone that wrote their name or signed the petition supports PR.
But the majority of people, when I say majority, give you a percentage, 98% of the people who signed our petition, whether it was in Clifton, whether it was in the North Side, whether it was in Bond Hill, Evanston, they were clearly saying they felt that they did not have representation on council and wanted to see a change. Now, there might have been a small minority of people who said, hey, I just think democratically that if we have a petition, I think I should sign it. But the majority of people in the high 90% were demanding that they wanted more and better quality representation on council.
All right, Ken, we're going to give each of you a minute to convince the viewers out there. Ken, we'll let you convince them to vote no on issue 8, and then we'll see if Chris can convince them to vote yes on issue 8. Why should they vote no on issue 8?
All right, 3 reasons why mathematically. Number 1, the outcome of the election will depend, the way this is written, it will depend on which precincts are posted first. And that's just a fact. Secondly, and I know you're going to dispute it, but if you count the West Side first, you count Hyde Park, Mount Lookout, you could have more candidates achieve their 10% before they ever get to my community. So it does depend on which precincts are counted first. Secondly, we're setting ourselves up to have a position where someone can have 6,500 first place votes and end up getting no other votes throughout the city and still win over someone with 6,000 first place votes and 20,000 votes throughout the city. And thirdly, there is a better way. This is not a win-all, be-all. It's not either do or die. We can go back to the drawing board and do it right.
All right, Chris.
Proportional representation was in the city of Cincinnati for 30 years. We were rated the best governed city in the nation during that time period, so this is not new to the city of Cincinnati. As I've expressed, that Ken Anderson's scenario has never played out in the city of Cincinnati, and nor has it ever played out in 61 years in Cambridge, Massachusetts. This is an opportunity for citizens to really empower themselves by voting yes on 8 and taking the power away from the big business, away from the corporate money that is controlling not only our national and our state, but our local, and allow a city that is 45% African American to have a real say in who governs them, from a minority and majorities both being at the table. I believe in full representation. That is why we have issue 8 on the ballot, and we're urging everyone, please vote yes on issue 8.
You have your troops out on the ground on election day with literature at the polls?
We have a significant and deep strategy for election day, and we're encouraging everyone to just show up and vote in general, participate in the political process. And let me state to everybody, Ken Anderson is my friend. We have good conversations. We're on the other side of these issues, but there'll be other issues that we'll probably agree on.
Just on my radio show yesterday, you said I was not your friend. I was just an acquaintance, but that's okay. No, I thought our friendship ended with his issue 8. I said, as far as I'm concerned, we're still friends.
I mean, this won't be the last issue that you guys will be divided on, I'm sure.
Of course, that's right.
I mean, but you were together on the jail issue.
And you even on this first political campaign.
But I got a feeling if issue 8 passes, I got a feeling you could run for council and you might get elected.
I understand that, but it's not about me.
I would like to see you on council.
Now, let me state that I'm not running for council.
You stated that, because a lot of people said, you're in this, he only wants us to pass because he wants to get on council. But that's not true. You're not running next year at all.
I'm not running next year at all. And if I run, you can run this tape back and say, Smitherman, you said you weren't running in 2009. I'm not running in 2009.
Rock said that 3 years ago when he first got elected to the
Ken
Senate.
Anderson and Chris Smitherman, thank you for joining me. We'll see what happens on November 4th on issue 8. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for your time.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lincoln.
All right. Let's take a break, and we'll come back and tell you how you can win tickets to see Walking with Dinosaurs at the new arena over in Kentucky. Yes, what is the name of that bank? Kentucky State Bank. Yes, Bank of Kentucky. Back in a moment. We are back live, Lincoln Ware Live, and what a heated segment there with Ken Anderson and Chris Smitherman. And issue 8, if you live in the city of Cincinnati, you'll see that on your ballot. If you don't live in the city, you won't see issue 8 on your ballot. But if you're a resident, you might want to check that out and read the language. Be careful how you vote on issue 8. coming to the Bank of Kentucky, walking with dinosaurs. And we've got Les Crooks with us. How about that? Les Crooks works for the Bank of Kentucky. How about that? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Lincoln.
How
nice
you doing,
to be
Les?
here.
Now, tell us about Walking with Dinosaurs. I've seen some of the clips on TV, and man, it looks like it's very exciting.
Lincoln, this is one of the best shows to come out in the last 10 years that I've been doing this kind of work. It starts on Wednesday at the Bank of Kentucky Center, which is the new arena we just opened about a month ago, right at the foot of NKU's campus.
I hear that place is fantastic.
It is.
It's awesome over there. And what this is, I guess this is really, you had a country singer over there already, but this is your first real big general event since it's been open, I guess.
Well, we opened with Carrie Underwood,
right, Carrie Underwood.
And then we had the comedian Jeff Dunham. Then we had an action sports tour. Then Cirque du Soleil came in, and Friday night we had.
You guys have been busy.
So You Think You Can Dance, and now we roll into dinosaurs starting on Wednesday.
Now tell us a little bit about the Walking with Dinosaurs. Tell us a little bit about that.
Lincoln, as I said in the opening, this is a really great show. It's not only entertaining, but it's educational as well. It's about a 90-minute program which focuses on the dinosaurs and when they ruled the world. There are 15 different dinosaurs. It's like you're there with them.
Now you have people actually. They actually inside moving to make it look so real? Is that true?
That is how it works. But I will tell you, you forget that they're even there while this thing is even going on. Yeah, it's. You know, some people ask me, well, really, what is it? What is this, an exhibit? And it's what I would call it is it's a theatrical production that's educational in nature. And I saw the show in March. It's fun. It kept your attention, and I actually walked out and I learned a few things. So that's a plus.
I mean, when I saw the clips of it, I mean, it was like they were real.
They're exactly real. I mean, we've got one that's 45 foot tall, and when it makes its entrance, you can hear the crowd usually gasp.
No kidding.
So it's really great.
And now when does it start?
Starts on Wednesday, and you know, with the tough economic times out there, we've got a great discount offer thanks to the Cincinnati Enquirer.
Okay.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday nights, you can buy the top price ticket for 2-for-1. Offer. So you can buy that at our box office. We open at 10 o'clock on Monday morning and close at 5:30 on Monday through Friday. But we start Wednesday with 8 shows of Walking with Dinosaurs, and it is it's a great story. It's educational. It's from the 2-year-old to the 92-year-old.
Are you going to have a lot of? You said you going to have them during the day also? Is that correct? Will
they'll be there, but they'll be sleeping until they get to perform at night. But we do 3 shows on Saturday and 2 on Sunday as well.
Okay. Now there's a chance for people who watch WBQC to win tickets, and if you just write or fill out a postcard, tell us why you think you deserve to go to see Walking with Dinosaurs, and there we got it up on the screen, write that address and the zip code and everything down, and put on there why you want to walk with the dinosaurs, because, and then whoever has the best answers, we giving away, how many are we giving away? How many pairs are we giving away? About 2 or 3 pairs? 3 family sets, so 3 family sets we're giving away. So make sure you write the address down. You can send a postcard in, or you can just drop it off, mail it in. And I like how you got my picture on the stamp there. Yeah, I didn't know that I was famous. I had my own stamp now. How about that? You know, the U.S. Postal Service did not tell me they were making a stamp with my picture on it. But I tell you, this is a great offer. Tell us why you want to walk with the dinosaurs. Get that post. When do they have to have? What's the deadline they need to be in? They need to be in by Tuesday. Tuesday by 5 o'clock. Get them in, and you could win one of 3 family packs to see Walking with Dinosaurs. And you don't want to miss. I mean, we'll announce the winner on Wednesday, and you don't want to miss this show. It sounds like it's going to be fantastic. I think I might want to go and check it out myself, because I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's at the Bank of Kentucky Arena, right there on Route
right off of US 27.
US 27.
You take 471 south.
And it runs right into 27.
Runs right into it. Second traffic light. There we are.
Right there at the University of Northern Kentucky. And it starts on Wednesday. And you've got to take your family to see this fantastic event.
Great show.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Lincoln.
And let us know of any other great shows coming up over there. I mean, you guys are out the box. I mean, full blast. You're not even half stepping. You're not even taking a little rest in between show. You guys are just laying it out there.
No, my staff is they've had their stamina tested.
I'm
There's
telling
no doubt
you,
about
gee,
that.
I can't believe how many shows you've had, and it's just opened just a few months ago.
Just a month ago.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. All right, thank you for joining us, Les Crooks.
Thanks, Lincoln.
From the Bank of Kentucky Arena, and you got to see Walking with Dinosaurs. All right, don't forget, check me out Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. on 1230 WDBZ. Check me out every day, Monday through Friday. And if you want to reach me by telephone, call me at 513-679-6028. Leave me a message, and I'll get back with you. If you want to watch this show live, online, every Sunday morning, WBQC.com. Log on to that, and you can see this show live. We stream live. And, of course, if you're in Northern Kentucky, Insight Cable, we're on every Sunday morning, and we're over-the-air TV right here in the greater Cincinnati area. WBQC Channel 38 every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. And don't forget, call me, 679-6028. If you've got a question, leave me a message, and I will get back with you. And rebroadcast of this show tonight at 8 o'clock on Channel 25, WOTH, 8 o'clock tonight, Channel 25, a rebroadcast of this show tonight at 8 o'clock. You don't want to miss that. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Don't forget, get those postcards in by Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Get them in, and you could become a winner, and you could take your whole family to see Walking with Dinosaurs. And it starts Wednesday at the Bank of Kentucky. Look on the screen, get the address down. You could either bring it over here or drop it in. I would bring it over. At this point, you might be safe to just bring it over. 7737 Reinhold Drive, right off of Summit Road. Just take Summit Road to the end, turn left, and you're on Reinhold at 7737, the third building on the left. Get those postcards in, and you could be a winner to see Walking with Dinosaurs. Once again, Les Crooks, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Lincoln.
That's going to wrap it up. We'll see you next week, next Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, right here on Lincoln Ware Live.